You know that story? The one that so many of us know from the inside. It's the story of feeling, well, buried, like you're being pulled in a dozen different directions by debts that just never seem to quit. Today, we're going to explore a potential turning point in that story, a strategy called debt consolidation. But the real question is it the chapter that leads to freedom, or is it one with a twist you didn't see coming?
It's the question that keeps you up at night, isn't it? You've got all these payments, the credit cards, that personal loan, maybe some medical bills, and they've all got their own rules, their own due dates. It feels like chaos, and you can't help but wonder, could there really be one simple solution to tame it all?
Before we even get into the nuts and bolts, let's just stop and acknowledge the feeling, the stress, the constant anxiety of juggling all those payments. That's not just about numbers on a spreadsheet, is it? It's a heavy emotional weight.
And that is not an exaggeration. For so many people, it truly can feel like a suffocating financial nightmare. It's that awful sense of running in place, making payments month after month, but never really seeing the balances go down. That feeling. That's where this story really begins.
But what if you could change that whole narrative? Debt consolidation? Well, it promises to weave all those scattered plot lines into one single clear story. A story where you get to take back control.
So, what's really happening here? At its core, it's actually a pretty simple exchange. You're taking out one new, larger loan, and you're using that money to basically wipe the slate clean with all your other creditors. You're trading all those little battles for one single, focused campaign.
And the goals of this campaign? They're crystal clear. First, to simplify your life, just one payment to track. Second, to hopefully secure a lower interest rate, so more of your hard-earned money goes to paying down the actual debt, not just feeding that interest beast. And third, to potentially lower your total monthly bill, giving you some much-needed breathing room.
Okay, so if you decide this path is worth exploring, you're going to find a few different roads you can take. And each one, each has its own unique challenges and rewards. Let's look at the three most common options out there.
The first path is probably the most straightforward, the personal loan. Think of this as the well-paved road. You get a loan from a bank or a credit union, it isn't secured by your property, and it almost always comes with a fixed interest rate and a set end date. You know exactly what your payment is each month, and you know exactly when you'll finally be free. It's all about predictability.
Now this second path, it's tempting, especially if you've got great credit. This is the balance transfer credit card. It's kind of like the scenic route that promises this beautiful, interest-free journey, at least for a while. You just move all your high-interest card balances onto this one new card,
And this is the magic number that pulls you in, 0%. For 12, maybe even 21 months, you pay absolutely no interest. But, and this is a big but, here's the twist in the road. There are usually transfer fees, and if you don't pay off every single penny before that promotional period ends, the interest rate that kicks in can be incredibly high. This path, it demands some serious discipline. And then, there's the third path. This one, well, it leads through some treacherous territory, and you have to walk it with extreme caution. This is using your home's equity, through a home equity loan or a line of credit. The interest rates are often the lowest, which makes it seem like the smartest choice, but there's a very good reason for that. In this slide, it says everything you need to know. Your home is the collateral. You're securing your credit card debt with the roof over your head. If life throws you a curveball, a job loss, an unexpected illness, and you can't make those payments, the stakes are not just a bad credit score, you could lose your home. This is a path that very, very few people should ever take.
You know, like any complex character in a story, debt consolidation isn't a simple hero. It's a double-edged sword that can absolutely help, but it can also harm. So let's get real and look at the pros and the cons.
All right, let's just break it down side by side. On the upside, you get that beautiful simplicity of one payment. You get a potentially lower interest rate. You get predictable payments and the motivation of watching one single number shrink. But the downsides, they are just as real. It doesn't fix the underlying spending habits. There can be fees. A longer loan term might mean you actually pay more interest over time. And of course, there's that ultimate risk of losing your home. So what if, after weighing all of this, you decide that taking on a whole new loan just isn't the right next chapter for you? Guess what? That is perfectly okay, because that is not the end of the story. There are other really powerful ways to write your happy ending. First off, you can use a structured plan like the Debt Snowball or the Avalanche methods. They use either psychological momentum or pure math to attack your debts without a new loan. Second, you can simply pick up the phone and try to negotiate with your creditors for a lower rate. You would be surprised how often this can work. And third, you can seek out guidance from a nonprofit credit counselor. Think of them as a trusted guide who can help you forge a plan that's personalized just for you.
So, here's the crucial point. This isn't about finding some kind of magic bullet. It's about choosing the path that leads to the ending you want. Before you choose, ask yourself 3 key questions. 1. Will this new loan truly save me money on interest? 2. Have I actually addressed the habits that led to this debt in the first place? And 3. Am I truly comfortable with all the risks, especially if my home is involved? Answering those honestly, that's how you take control. It's your story, you're the one holding the pen. So, the only question left is, what financial story will you write next?
Ultimately, mastering your finances isn't about magic. It's about knowledge, discipline, and consistent action. I hope this video has empowered you to take control. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep building the financial life you truly desire. If you're ready for more insights, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tell me in the comments, what financial topic do you want to conquer next? Let's build wealth together.